Welcome to Whispering African Tales, where the winds of time carry the wisdom of our ancestors. Here, we journey through African spirituality, history, and books of sacred memory, exploring the philosophies, stories, and visions that shaped our continent's soul. Each whisper, each page, each chapter is a step back into the river of our origins, not to worship the past, but to understand the spirit that still breathes within us. So find your quiet space, open your heart, and let us walk together into another story from the Spirit Library, where Africa remembers itself. John S. Mbiti Introduction to African Religion. Narrated from the Spirit Library on Whispering African Tales. Chapters 9 to 10, Worship and Sacrifice. Chapter 9, Worship. Worship in African religion is the expression of the human heart toward God, the divinities, spirits, and ancestors. John S. Mbiti. Mbiti opens this chapter with a profound statement. Worship is the lifeblood of African religion. It is not a formal, occasional act. It is woven into every rhythm of life. Religion, he writes, is not a weekend affair. It is lived daily through word, gesture, and breath. Worship takes many forms: prayer, sacrifice, song, dance, invocation, and thanksgiving. It may occur at a sacred grove, at the family hearth, or beneath an ancestral tree. What defines it is not place, but presence. Forms of worship. 1. Prayer, the most common and spontaneous act of worship. It may be said aloud, whispered, sung, or performed in silence. Prayers invoke God, ancestors, and divinities for rain, health, success, or peace. Mbiti observes that African prayers are rarely abstract. They are practical poetry, full of images, gratitude, and metaphor. Example from the Dinka. Oni Halik, our Father, let the rain fall on our cattle, our crops, our hearts. 2. Praise and thanksgiving. Africans celebrate the divine through song and dance, art as devotion. Worship is communal, joyful, embodied. In drumming, clapping, and movement, people express gratitude for creation itself. Mbiti writes that such worship joins heaven and earth in rhythm, a reminder that joy itself is a form of holiness. 3. Offerings and sacrifices. These are tokens of reverence. Food, beer, milk, water, or livestock, given to thank, to ask for forgiveness, or to restore balance after wrongdoing. Mbiti stresses that these are not bribes, but acts of sharing, a way to maintain friendship between humanity and the divine. He writes, the African does not give to God because God needs. He gives because he belongs. 4. Ritual observances. Daily and seasonal ceremonies align life with cosmic order. For example, planting festivals, harvest offerings, rites of healing, ancestral commemorations. Each ritual reaffirms the unity between human, nature, and spirits. Mbiti concludes that African worship is not only an act of faith, but an art of relationship. It renews connection, between living and dead, human and divine, earth and sky. In worship, he says, the African affirms that he is not alone in the universe. This constant awareness of presence, of being surrounded by life and spirit, gives African religion its radiant intimacy. Every prayer, every drumbeat, every ritual meal says, "We belong." Worship is the heartbeat of African religion, a celebration of belonging. In praising the Creator, the African praises life itself. Chapter 10: Sacrifice. Sacrifice is one of the most ancient and universal acts of worship. In Africa, it expresses both dependence and communion with God. John S. Mbiti. After describing worship, Mbiti turns to its most sacred expression, sacrifice. He approaches it with care, knowing how often outsiders have misinterpreted it as barbaric. In truth, he says, sacrifice is symbolic communication, a language older than writing. Sacrifice, Mbiti explains, arises from the African understanding that life is shared essence. When humans offer part of what they have, food, an animal, or drink, they are not paying God. They are acknowledging mutual belonging. It is a renewal of friendship, he writes, between humanity and the spirit world. Sacrifice is made to give thanks, to seek forgiveness, to cleanse impurity or misfortune, to mark transitions, birth, initiation, harvest, or death. Types of sacrifice. Mbiti categorizes sacrifices into three main types. 1. Thanksgiving sacrifices, given after harvest, healing, or answered prayer. It is a way of celebrating abundance. Common offerings include fruits, milk, beer, or a small animal shared with community. Propitiatory or cleansing sacrifices, performed to repair broken harmony. They are symbolic washing away of guilt, disease, or curse. The emphasis is not punishment but restoration. And finally, votive sacrifices, promised offerings after a vow or request is fulfilled. A tangible thank you for divine favor. In all this, Mbiti underscores the non-destructive essence of sacrifice. It is about life, not death. What is given returns in blessings, ensuring continuity and renewal. He draws parallels between African sacrifices and those found worldwide, in the ancient Near East, India, and even modern Christian or Islamic traditions. Thus, universality, he notes, showing humanity's shared intuition that relationship with the divine requires action, not only thought. Sacrifice is never a private ritual. It is communal theology in motion. The act gathers family and neighbors, strengthening social bonds while reaffirming cosmic order. The priest or elder officiates, but the benefit extends to all. Sacrifice, Mbiti says, is the heartbeat of community spirituality. The moral dimension of sacrifice is vital. It reminds humanity of dependence on higher order, humility before God, and respect for life. Each offering, each libation poured says, we remember, we give back what we have received. In African thought, sacrifice is not loss but return, a renewal of sacred friendship with the universe. Through giving, the heart learns gratitude, and the community remembers that all life is gift. In these chapters, Mbiti reveals the living practice of African religion, not theory, but heartbeat. Worship and sacrifice are languages of belonging. They affirm the African conviction that the divine is not distant. It walks among us, sharing breath, rain, and rhythm. You've been listening to Whispering African Tales, a space where we remember, question, and reconnect. If this story or reflection touched something within you, subscribe, share, and keep the fire of understanding alive. Here, we walk with open minds, not to impose belief, but to seek truth, to honor wisdom, and to keep the voices of our ancestors heard in every generation. Until next time, may your path be guided by light, your spirit be at peace, and may the whispers of Africa continue to speak through you.